Hey everybody, welcome back. So, you're going to be seeing this a week after daylight savings time because I had another podcast that had to be released first because, that's just how I roll. You know me, I like to film ahead. And yes, we're still packaging out dog food. But daylight savings time. We keep getting told that Congress is going to end it. We keep being told that something's going to change. We all hate it. Some people like one time better than the other, which is fine. Really don't care where we end it. It just needs to end. In the last couple of years, I've been doing a lot of research into health and making sure that my husband and I are as healthy as possible. And, I'm preparing for having kids and being as healthy as I can in preparation for that and knowing things to know about children, their sleep, so on and so forth. A lot of friends with kids. I have a niece. So, I try to keep my ear to the ground and find out as much as I can. Everyone I know that has kids hates daylight savings time more than I do because it gets their kids' schedule all sorts off because they have to change their schedule and babies don't like it, toddlers don't like it, kids in general just don't like it because it's not natural, it's unhealthy. So, let's talk about some of the negative side effects of daylight savings time and just disrupting your sleep in general, which I'm not the best about not doing, don't get me wrong, I'm still working on it. But welcome back to the Green Egg Girl podcast. So, I read Casey Means' book last year, and it has not been in my possession much since I read it, so I don't have it here for reference because I have other friends that need to read it, and I've just kind of been passing it from person to person depending on who needs it at the time. But she talks about sleep and how you really should not be shifting your sleep pattern day to day or through the weekend. Now, I'm bad about the weekend. My husband's on second shift during the week, so on the weekend, I'm really bad about wanting to stay up to spend more time with him because, I do things like make dog food and meal prep and all of that throughout the weekend while he's working. I think you can actually see him sitting in the background back here. So, even during the weekend, we're both still working. We're not really just chilling. So by the time we sit down, I don't necessarily want to go to bed because I like to hang out with my husband. He's really fun and really funny. And I enjoy hanging out with him. So, I have a bad tendency of getting off my sleep schedule very badly on the weekend. But if I remember correctly, what she said in her book is that your mean hour of the night should not shift. So, if you go to bed at 9 o'clock at night and you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, that middle hour is what you need to keep in common. Like I said, if I remember correctly, when I get my book back, I'll double check that, and worst case, I'll update the comments or I'll update the description and get back to you on it. But regardless, you shouldn't be shifting your sleep schedule around because your body doesn't know what to do. It throws off your circadian rhythm. You can end up with all kinds of issues from it between your mood, your actual just heart health, everything else. It affects your metabolism. Basically, it can destroy everything, which is why I really need to be better on the weekends about not doing what I'm doing. But, I'm working on it. Anyway, daylight savings time. Daylight savings time really screws this up twice a year. It changes your sleep patterns. And we all know that's not good. I just think inherently we all know. Every single person I talk to after daylight savings time, no matter which direction it moves, everybody's just off, and there's a reason for that. Now, I find spring to be worse. Losing an hour in the middle of the night is my least favorite thing. I'm feeling it today. I feel just, ugh, didn't want to get out of bed. Part of that is I also stayed up for fight night last night, which, you know, happens. But even still, you know, waking up at what is 6:30 in the morning now is, to my body, 5:30 in the morning. Not a fan. And it's going to be like this probably for a month. It takes me about a month to recalibrate to the new time, and then I relive it all over again in the fall. But I decided to ask Grok for some statistics, and very kindly he gave me where those statistics came from. I will make note and I will put them in there, but you guys can all also go and ask Grok the same question. And what I asked was, what are the negative side effects of daylight savings time? There's cardiovascular events. According to a study from Michigan hospital admissions, there's a 24% increase in heart attacks on the Monday after spring forward. You have an 8% higher risk of an ischemic stroke in the first 2 days after the transition from a study from Finland. You have a approximately 4% increase in acute myocardial infarction, heart attack. However, a broader circadian misalignment from extended daylight savings times periods is linked to higher long-term risk of obesity, stroke, and heart attack. So everybody knows in the US, we already have a massive obesity problem. This doesn't help. Like I said, Casey Means pointed out in her book, which is Good Energy, by the way, she pointed out it messes with your metabolism. So yeah, it leads to obesity. So completely upending the world twice a year, not exactly helping our issues here in the West with obesity. Now, the poison food definitely isn't helping either, but be nice if we, quit contributing to it. Fatal car crashes increase by almost 6% during the springtime transition. And that was pulled from a data set from 1996 to 2017. There's approximately 28 additional deaths per year, all because of daylight savings time. Drowsy driving crashes, workplace injuries, overall accidents, all of that happen in the days and weeks after spring forward. Funny how messing up your circadian rhythm affects everything. People lose an average of 40 minutes of sleep the Monday after. And so the fatigue, you have mood disturbances, higher inflammation, stress markers, all of that. There's approximately 150,000 negative health incidents in the US across cardiovascular injuries, mental and immune clusters, 888,000 globally. Like I said, there's a Stanford study. 2025 Stanford analysis suggested that biannual changes are contributing to a higher obesity rate and higher stroke risk. So the spring forward is a lot harder because you're losing an hour, but the fall backwards, also not great, guys. Like, really not great. Changing your sleep pattern twice a year is bad for your health. And everybody knows this. Congress has been talking about it. We've been told for years that this is going to get stopped. That they're just trying to decide which time to end it on. Again, I don't care. Just end the stupid thing. You're upending everybody's world. The only kids who aren't affected by this are the ones who get to be homeschooled by a stay-at-home mom. That's literally it. Please don't mind our chaos. So, daylight savings time really needs to go because it is actually bad for everyone's health. And like I said, everyone who has kids knows during the fall back, the kids are up early. During the spring forward, the kids don't want to get up. It's a whole thing. Everybody's going to struggle now for a month to try to readjust, but it's bad for your health from the start, and we're subjecting children to it and adults, and it's killing people. So, for someone who has to get on the road and drive for an hour each way to work, I really don't appreciate it because statistically my risk is much higher of being hit on the way there. We already know women can't drive, and there's a ton of women on the road. I'm sure I'm more dangerous. So, let's all just start lobbying to end the madness and end all of the change, because it's unnecessary and unproductive and bad for everyone's health. There have been many countries who have gotten rid of it. We just like to keep killing people in ours. Anybody else sick of our politicians yet? Anyone else tired of the bait and switch constantly? Because I actually remember when daylight savings time got enacted when I was a kid. My dad didn't have it and we did. So I spent time, half the year, where my dad was in a different time zone than us, despite only living an hour away. And it was all because daylight savings time hadn't hit where he lived, but it had hit where we live. Because I lived in Michigan, he lived in Indiana at the time. So I actually remember when all of that went down. I missed the days before that. Can we go back to normal, please? I hope you all have a safe and happy transition. And I hope you all will join me in petitioning our congressman to end the freaking madness. Not that they care, they're a little tied up with their wars right now, making money for their donors. So we'll probably just continue to get baited and switched, but it might still be worth pushing. Y'all have a great day.